So today, it's workbook lesson number 15. The title for this one is My Thoughts Are Images That I Have Made. So I imagine that's making some bells ring in everybody's heads if you're just new to the course. This one's really important, I think. This one really can demonstrate some truths that are going to kind of reorient your thinking to more true thinking and kind of help you achieve some peace and joy. I think kind of sounds weird me saying that, but that is the outcome of this. Uh, so let's think of it this way. So we have this image here of a cow, furry cow. I don't even know what the breed is there, and a little girl. And the images, the that your ideas or images you've made is not readily apparent. So I might have to come back to this picture in a second here, but this is just kind of our frame to kind of orient what we're going to talk about next, which is going back to our older image. And this will really show why that image was so apt for what we were trying to do with it. So I left the very first line, or the first paragraph, sorry, of this chapter. I have it as just kind of set aside here because this is really, I think, quite important. So it is because the thoughts you think appear as images that you do not recognize them as nothing. So let's think about this. So that little girl with that cow that we just saw. So what's really happening here? So where the rubber hits the road here in the situation is with the mind. So materially, if it wants to have a perception of a material reality, and for a reason I've kind of mentioned a few times, but it's not really relevant right now, it's going to put it through here, which is our veil, and it's going to be perceived through consciousness of one of these two people. Well, I mean, there's lots of people, but it's going to be perceived through them. So the reason why that is because it'd be an image that they want, this mind wants these people to interact with, because it can't join with something that is solid, something that is material. So it puts the image in here, it flips around, and the image becomes on the screen, and these people can interact with it. So there can be, just like the light that comes into the situation is this interaction between the two. This consciousness can't actually touch this, so these people can have that interaction, and the situation of the story playing out makes the images that were put through here real, because you couldn't be just real, they wouldn't seem real if it was just the image was shown on the screen. If we take the analogy of the cave, it wouldn't seem real to see that image if you just one sort of perceptive eye looking at it. You need to have your consciousness directed partly through this one, and then the interaction of the two seems like there's an interaction, makes it seem like there's something going on there, but really these thoughts are nothing. They're just illusions that are kind of selectively being perceived in order to confuse this part of yourself. So I hope that makes sense. We'll be able to explain it more as we go, as each sentence is kind of going along, and we'll reinforce it, because I know there's like one sentence of what I just said is a really important one. Try to find it and kind of really make sense of it, because I don't want to repeat myself, but I also don't want to keep jabbering like I kind of am, trying to add a new point to it. So you think of them, you think them, and so you think you see them. This is how your seeing was made. This is the function the body, you have given your body's eyes. It is not seeing, it is image making. It makes the place of seeing, replacing vision with illusions. So both of these two psyches are sort of interacting, and they're not really separate really at all, but this gives a perception of interacting with something in the image. So just like a dream, right? I mean, a dream, you have this situation where it seems like you're in it, and it seems like you're having interactions with people that are supported by your senses and everything else. Lucky we have that to compare to, because that really helps all of us, I think, to kind of understand how this works, because the dream itself is the same exact premise. So you project the idea, the fact that this canvas of your mind is feeling like it's having interaction sells the idea to you that it's real. So we're gonna take out this part because we just said it, but like I say, I think this one's really, really important, and it can really help illuminate how things interconnect and work together. So as we go along, you may have light episodes, and I'll be honest with you guys, I've never had one of these. I've had some that maybe could be considered that, but I've never actually had one of these. And considering I've been working with the book for a long time, it's kind of seems interesting that I haven't. But maybe it's something that's only when everything kind of comes together. I've never had anything that really. I think I have a very rational brain, and I think this is going to be something that comes all at once to me. A lot of these kind of things are kind of things that all dawn at once. It's kind of everything fits together, then it's this sort of cumulative illumination that happens all at once with me. So I don't think it's going to be a slow process. They may take different forms, some of them quite unexpected. Do not be afraid of them. They are signs that you're opening your eyes at last. So you won't be able to image make at that point, right? You'll just be able to enjoy what this reality of existence is. And the reason you can't be satisfied in this world is because that's really what you want. And you're trying to convince, like your consciousness is trying to convince itself that it isn't, but it is, because it's just fear that makes you think you don't want to go back to that. They will not persist because they merely symbolize true perception, and they are not related to knowledge. These exercises will not reveal knowledge to you, but they will prepare the way to it. So vision is very important to the book. You'll get a few times where it comes up and they'll ask you to say that vision is the thing that you want the most. And I think that's really what we're going to realize here is as much as we can do in this world, like we can't make this whole process on our own. We're going to be helped a lot along the way, but the last step is not for us to make. So we'll do as much as we can, and it seems like this is the one that's most within our grasp, that we can really prepare ourselves with for the next step. In practicing the idea of today, repeat it to yourself first, and then apply it to whatever you see around you using its name, and letting your eyes rest on it as you say, this blank is an image that I have made. That blank is an image that I have made. It is not necessary to include large number of specific images for the application of today's idea. It is necessary, however, to continue with each subject while you repeat the idea to yourself. The idea should be repeated quite slowly each time. Although you will obviously not be able to apply the idea to very many things during the minute or so that is recommended, try to make this selection as random as possible. Less than a minute will do for the practice periods. If you begin to feel uneasy, do not have more than 3 application periods for today unless you feel completely comfortable with it, and do not exceed 4. However, the idea can be applied as needed throughout the day. This will be something that you do if you do this a couple times. I don't know how well some of these things are going to resonate with you, but the more you can say it, it'll be there kind of as your grab bag of ways to deal with things that are challenging. There's a few things. There'll be one coming up that you're going to repeat a lot, and I was amazed. Like, I mean, it's been since the first time I read this, it's been quite a few years now, and I still use the one that was repeated the most often, because it really applies to just about every situation, and it really seems to be what you need in most of them. But anyway, like I say, really important one today. So hopefully that all made sense to you. If not, ask a question, and good luck to you. Have a good day.